Sometimes in social media, artists will participate in different kinds of art challenges. For this video, I decided to participate in one called the Art Style Challenge. That's where you take a piece of artwork that you drew and you try to redraw it in the style of other artists. For this one in particular, I decided to attempt the style of 5 other artists, and one of them all to be female artists that I found on the internet who are still around making art and posting it online. So that means that artists like Muka or Picasso or Klimt are not going to be part of this challenge because, well, they're men, and as far as I know, they're not posting anything on social media because they're no longer around, unless you know something I don't. Of course, because I didn't make it hard enough for myself to try to draw these styles, with each style that I tried, they became more and more painterly, which means they became harder and harder for me to attempt. Because if you've ever seen my style, it's cartoony, it's simplistic, it doesn't have a ton of details, so painterly is not my forte. And this video is for the 5th and final artists that I did. Now, if you haven't seen the other 4, just click on the little card up top, and I'll also leave a link in the description below of all the other artists who I've tried. But this one was by far the hardest one. And this is an artist that you've probably heard of before. She goes by the name of Lois on the internet. Now, I'll tell you more about her style, about her art, and about everything else that has to do with her throughout this video as you watch a speed paint of my attempt at trying to draw her style, which was not easy. And in the end, you'll get to see how it turned out, and I'll compare it to the original version that I drew. Now, just to give you a little heads up, I'm not the best with that style. She is a master at her style, of course, because it is her style, and I tried. And it came out okay. You know, I kind of like it. It's nice. It kind of looks like her style. Hopefully you agree. Oh, by the way, what's up? I'm Delilah. Welcome to my channel. Hopefully you like what you see. So now let's just get to the speed paint and enjoy the video. So here's some info about the artist. She goes by Lois on the internet, but her real name is Lois Van Baarle. I may or may not have pronounced that right, but the first time I saw her art was actually on DeviantArt, which was when I was first learning how to draw digitally, so I've seen her art for decades. She was born in the Netherlands, but she's also lived in the US, in Indonesia, France, and even Belgium. Her art tends to be inspired by Art Nouveau or Disney, anime and manga, French comic artists, and a lot more. According to her, her style is semi-realistic feminine art inspired by Disney and Alphonse Mucha. I think the semi-realism is key. This is still her talking. It's cartoony, but still has many elements of realism that puts it somewhere between the two. Her art medium is usually digital, but sometimes she'll use inks, gouaches, or pencils. She has a Patreon that has tutorials and more. I actually support it, so I highly recommend it. She also sells merch online in different print shops and even in her own shop. She's had a Kickstarter with multiple different art books that she's produced. Some of those art books, or maybe even all of them, are actually on Amazon. I have 2 out of 3 of them. I actually need to buy the 3rd one. What you won't get to see in this video is that in the beginning I had to experiment quite a lot. Every time I would try to render it a certain way, it just wouldn't come out right, and then I had to start all over again. If I showed you all the times that I was experimenting, this video would be way too long. I watched some of her tutorials, and in a lot of her technique, especially the way she renders things now, she tends to merge the sketch layer or the line art with the colors, and then she paints on top of it. But it wasn't really working for me when I was first starting to do it this way. So in the beginning, I just kept the line art separate until I was more comfortable blending the two. Her style a few years ago was much more blended, but lately it's become more shapely since she tends to use a lot of the lasso tool to create different colors. But I'm mimicking the style that's a little earlier, the more blended style, because the newest one was just way too hard for me to try to mimic. I used a combination of soft brushes and texture brushes all over the artwork. All of the colors for this though are on the same layer. It made it easier for me to render the hairline because of it. Sometimes her sketches are still visible in the final product, so I added more sketch lines for that effect. I added a couple of subtle lines throughout the whole thing just to give it a little more texture, and I do that throughout the video and towards the end as well. She tends to use a pure white color for little highlights here and there, like in the corner of her eyes, so I did the same thing. Her current lip color was a little too pale for my liking, so I decided to just select it and adjust the hue and saturation instead of trying to render the lips all over again. As you can see, I had to refine the details quite a bit for a while. I really was just trying to get as close to her style as possible. I added thin strands of hair around her hair to give it more of a realistic look. Finally, it was time for her accessories. I took a different approach than I did with all the other styles that I tried so far. Since the colors are all on one layer, I decided to create lines by selecting certain areas of the shirt, for example, and then changing it to yellow instead of creating a new separate yellow layer. Lastly, I added highlights and a couple of finishing touches. And that was my attempt. What do you think? Do you like it? I hope so. Either way, leave a comment below, let me know what you think. And also, like the video. Hopefully you like it. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. What are you waiting for? It's free, I promise. And also ring the little bell to be notified of any videos that I put up in the future. and that way you don't have to constantly check on my channel for the new one. It'll just tell you. It'll come to you. So relax. And if you haven't, please follow me on social media. The link will be somewhere on the screen. And also, by the way, just so you know, the next time you see me, my hair is going to be a lot shorter than this because I am donating it. Don't know how much will be left, but it'll be a surprise to us both. But anyway, thank you for watching my video. Bye! Various art challenges. This time, what? Ring the little bell for the notifications. Another plane? Sounds everywhere. Now this artist in particular decided to participate. So how many times do I have to say the word participate? Participate, 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 participate. I cannot say that right. What's up? Welcome to my video. Let's try that again. What's wrong with me? Dancing to the beat of my own drum. Dancing to the beat of my own drum. Dancing to the beat of my own drum. Dancing to the beat of my own drum.